So for those of you that haven't done somatics, I'm going to come here so I'm not cut off. Somatics was, the routines were invented or created by Dr. Thomas Hanna. And it's so cool because he started in philosophy. He was a Calvin professor in California. And he has a lot of books on philosophy. But he said you have to free your mind, right? And that's what philosophy is about. And then he, in one of his brain was always wanting to learn new things. And he met Dr. Feldenkrais, who was he was a scientist in another country, and he came here and he started working on bodies, Dr. Feldenkrais. So they met as colleagues in California, and there were about 20 people in the room when this gentleman came with severe cerebral palsy, when the hands turn in. He hadn't been able to speak in a long time. His body was like all stuck, which is basically reflex, right? And so for 20 minutes, this guy couldn't utter a word. In 20 minutes, Dr. Feldenkrais, by using manipulation, contracting muscles, and releasing, this guy unleashed his hands for the first time in years. And he started sobbing because he actually was able to utter something out of his throat. And they saw 20 minutes, this guy, he was on his last leg, like they flew him in. He was on a stretcher. And Dr. Hanna said everyone in the room was crying because no one had ever seen this. It looked like some magic miracle. So he said, well, I realized not only, and he stuck with that work since then, and he said, not only do you have to free your mind, but you have to free your body, because if your body is held in pain, you never have freedom. As you know, when the body's in so much pain, you just can't think of anything else, right? Every time you move, you try to be normal and happy, and the pain just goes right through, and it takes your head and puts you in a different direction. So what we're going to do is pandiculate, which is the term, it's a verb, from the animal kingdom, and where we contract the muscle slightly more than it's already there. So it's different on everybody and every muscle, depending on your life. So we're going to contract the muscle, and then it's a slow, controlled release. And we just do that really slowly and patiently. And what's happened is we're recalibrating the brain how to move the muscle. So if the body is stuck in pain, it's generally short muscles and inflammation, and then the sensory motors are fighting each other, and you have all kind of pain. You're like, how do I get out of this? You feel stuck inside. So it's by contracting the muscles and slow controlled release. Never go into pain. Less is more, especially if you're really injured and you really need to take your time, because if you push the body, it's going to push you back. And you get into something called the stretch reflex, where the body just pushes back and says, you gotta be kidding me. Which is what happened to me. That's why I know. You think you're doing the right thing and you keep exercising, and you're like, you get rid of it, and the body just starts getting smaller and smaller and more pain. So it's really cool because this work keeps working for you, because the brain is finding new patterns of movement. Because the only way the muscle's going to move is with your brain. So we're just changing the avenue to how the muscle moves. No drugs, just you and your body and your brain. So we'll get started laying down. And let's lay down, and we do something called a somatic scan, where out of gravity, which is really important, so you don't have to think about anything, we're going to feel our body. And first, we're going to kind of feel and sense what our feet feel like, and how they're flopping out. And do notice if there's weight more in one foot than another. That one is turned out more, and maybe one is up towards the sky. Maybe, may not. And then if you go up and feel the calves, do you feel that same weight difference or ratio from the calves to the foot? Does it feel like there's more weight in one calf than the other? And then go back Go up, up, up the body, and notice how the lower back feels. So does the lower back feel tight? 85% of us would be yes. And if it's tight, is it tighter more on one side than the other? A lot of times with trauma, habitual patterns of movement, the body has more contraction on one side of the body because we're favoring that side. And if you go up the back, now we're going up to the mid-back, and at the bottom of the mid-back are your shoulders. They actually go that far down the back, all of the muscles that surround it. So notice how your shoulders feel. Do they feel weighted down to the ground, or does one feel like it's higher than another? You're like tilted. Do the shoulders feel like they're moving up towards your ears? Does the tops of the shoulders feel like they're rolling forward into the chest? And then let the head move side to side, nice and slow, and notice what your range of motion is from right to left, and say, I thought I could move my head more than I can to the left or right. Another habitual pattern of movement is think about you're chronically holding your phone in one hand and tilting, or you're at the computer and the head is turned to one side of the computer. Or at home, for me, the way our New York City apartment is, the TV is tilted and the couch isn't. So you're constantly aware that I have to move my body so I'm not constantly stuck in that one thing. Because when I watch movies, I watch double movies. I watch a lot, but when I do, so the body is going to react to what I'm giving it in my environment. And then notice how your face feels, the jaw. So the muscles feel tight. Think of all the mask wearing and that pulling on the face. So relax, even relax the jaw, let it go slack. And then how does the front of the neck feel? Does it feel strained or long, elongated? The chest, does it feel like you could breathe from the chest to the belly or only in the chest? Does the chest feel caved in? And then from the chest, that whole long front of the torso, from the nipple line down to the pubic bone, is a very long muscle, contracted over time. That's going to pull you forward. That's going to sink your sternum. That's going to give you shallow breath. When you're pulled forward and then the belly drops in, it's going to give you constipation. Everything's tight. Nothing is breathing. So we felt the body, and then we keep going back to feeling it. So when we're hurt or healing, we have a sense of where the body and mind is, so we can help pattern it to more healing and less pain. So bend the knees, and let's start out with arch and flatten. It's like the first cornerstone of Dr. Hannah's work, and hopefully you'll find out why. So bring one hand below the belly button, and then one hand above the belly button, and this is to give feedback to how the body is moving. Just, I would love for you to swell up the belly, and the hand, you're going to swell it up, and you're going to feel the lower back goes off the ground. And then roll like a pellet, like roll, let the pelvis roll forward, other way. And the back's midline's going to lift. You're contracting right here, is the pandiculation muscles in the back. And then a slow, controlled release. Don't do anything except release to neutral. Because neutral is always going to change. Remember that depending on what's happening in the body. Inhale, arch the back, belt line rises, tail dips down. And even at bringing the chin towards the chest, and now you feel the back of the neck get long, the muscles of the back are contracting, and then a slow, controlled release I know I say it over and over, but it's the mainstay of getting the muscles for longer resting length. Because if you rush through it, then the brain's not being able to pick up what you want it to. Inhale and arch the back, the bloodline rises, the tail dips down, the chin to the chest. Feel the muscles in the back come aligned and feel the hands that are on the belly move away from each other and relax. And then a slow, controlled release out of that. So that's arch and release. And now we do the opposite. Now we do flatten and release. So we're going to pandiculate the muscles, that rectus abdominis that our hands are on, and release the lower back. So as you exhale, flatten the back down, draw the bellies together so you're cinching the belly, and the tail holds up. The buttocks stays on the ground. Very easy and gentle, it's amazing, right? And then release. So we learn if we can release the muscles of the torso, everything peripheral off of that starts releasing. And that's why this is so important to learn. If anything, the first thing you learn is this. So exhale, flatten the back down, tilt the tail up. Now we add the head by rocking the chin up and letting the eyes go past the skull. We're behind you. And sit there it is. Now this is the red light reflex. Apprehension, stress, fear, and release. It's that sinking of the sternum, sinking of the ribs. The head draws back, chin lifts up. We're going to do it one more time. Exhale, flatten the back down, tilt the tail up. The tail lifts up, so does the chin. So the tail and the chin are working together. You're opening up your eyes, you're looking past the eyebrows, because now we have the master gland and the pineal gland right there too, working with the brain, just like in yoga. And then a slow, controlled release out of that. And just come to neutral, wherever that is for you. And now we'll do arch and flatten, it's just putting the two together. So have the knees, so they're in line with the hips, so that would be the pelvis recovery. So inhale and arch the back, belt line rises, chin to the chest, manipulating the muscles of the back, right there, exactly. 2 is release, just let it go. Flatten the back down, tilt the tail up, cinching the bellies together, rock the chin back, look behind you, it's pretty heavy. Open up your eyes, and gently release out of that. Good. So we'll add the arms to it. That's what you're seeing Lucy do. You're seeing her roll her arms in and out. So bring your arms at your side, and inhale and arch the back. Belt line rises, chin to the chest, and roll the arms out away from you. They're on the ground, but you're just rolling them out like a rolling pin, so the shoulder blades come on the back. So they don't have to be far away from you, rolling them. Let the shoulder blades come on the back, inhale, arch the back, the knees have to be hip distance apart. Good. 2 is neutral. And as it would happen, we're going to go the opposite way. So just relax everything down. Flatten the back down, tilt the tail up, rock the chin back. Then the arms roll in, so the back of the hands towards the torso, and the top of the shoulders lift off the ground behind you. You're contracting the muscles of the chest. You're sinking the sternum. You're flattening the back, cinching the bellies together. Feel that? And then a slow, controlled release. So this is called part of the flower. We're going to add the legs to it, and you know how a flower opens up and closes. So we're moving into the green light reflex, which is guiding at thumb stress. The red light reflex is rolling the arms in, which is that apprehension and fear. So as we inhale and arch the back, roll the arms out, the belt line lifts up, the tail drops down, and then the legs drop out, like books, like opening a book. So we're coming to the edges of the feet, chin in, that's it. So you'll feel this on your feet. And then come back, come onto the soles of the feet, walk your feet out, and then let the knees knock in, flatten the back down, tilt the tail up. Roll, roll, roll the arms in, top of the shoulders come off the ground. You're looking behind you, eyes open up. There, in chin, back. And then slow control, please. So the thing to remember is that everyone is different. Everyone has the same body parts, thankfully, but we've all used them differently because we've all had different lives. So you have to go slow and feel what's happening to your body, regardless of what's happening to someone else's body. It's really important. And the most important part is internal sensation awareness, because that's where all the good stuff happens. So let's do it one more time. Inhale and arch the back, belt line rises, chin to the chest, let the knees drop out, roll the arms so the shoulders are drawing in. And then come onto the feet. Relax the arms, walk the feet out, knees drop in, have the come down on the hips, bring the hips down, walk the feet out to the sides. Keep the feet, knees knock in, flatten back down, tilt the tail up, and now roll the arms in. Back, feel that? So you're recreating stress in the body, bringing it back to control, bring it up instead of reflex. And then slow control. There it is. Good. Extend the legs out. And just feel what you feel. And notice how you feel. I love that the dog's with you. I feel like dogs really, animals really get somatics classes to the nth degree. Don't they? Yeah. Your cats are always somatics. They're like, oh my God, they're finally chilling out. Let your head move side to side and notice what that feels like. Much slower. It's like your head's on a bungee cord, man. Good. So now I'd love for everyone, so now you felt that, and now I'd like everyone to come onto their belly. So you're going to have a long belly, and what I'd like you to do is your right arm is catty corner on the towards the top of the mat, and the left arm, so the right arm is long and it's catty corner, and then look to the right and let the left elbow bent and bring your hand underneath that left cheek. So you're looking at your right hand, just like if you were sleeping and looking up at the right hand. There we go. I want you to just lift your arm, looking at it. Your head's gonna get a little tilt. Just lift up the arm. Feel that contraction. It's kind of heavy, isn't it? And then it's a slow, controlled release. Bring a hand down to the ground and let all the muscles go. Yeah. Lift up the hand one more time. Notice the shoulder girdle. Feel that contracted? All the muscles, just lift your arm for gosh sakes. And then it's a slow, controlled release down, nice and slow. And when you get there, take the time to release the muscles. See the difference? We hold muscles that we don't even know, especially after surgery and trauma. You don't even know you're holding it. So one more time, just lift up the arm and look at the hand. Good. And then release and let all the muscles go. So we add to that by lifting up the head and the arm. You're going to look up at the arm and lift up the head and the arm, and notice how many more muscles are involved to do that and how far down the back it goes, and then gentle, slow release. And let all the muscles go here. Relax. Is that a contraction right there? Oh my gosh. The heck is that? No. So you have one more time. You're lifting up the head and the arm. And then slowly release. So the body works as an X. A lot of sports, but walking, opposite shoulder, opposite leg. Lift up one more time and feel how low you can feel the back coming online, and see if you can feel the opposite leg coming online. Is that the leg that you got the surgery? It's the other side, so you're gonna feel a lot different on which side maybe. And then release down and release those buttocks. Good. Now you're gonna just lift up the opposite leg. So you're gonna point the toes away from you. You're gonna feel that left side of the body get long, the right side's gonna get short, like you're scrubbing your toe. Then lift up the leg, feel the contraction all the way into the glutes, feel it into the back, and then a slow controlled release. And once you get down, release the muscles. Good. Point the toe away, you'll feel the body shift right in the somatic center, and lift up the leg, keeping the knee straight. You're gonna feel it right through the butt and the lower back. I think that jiggle or that, I'm tickling your butt. Yeah, and then release. Sorry, and then release. I didn't know people were ticklish there. Good. Now, just hang out for 1 second and wait till you put it together. When you're ready, you're going to breathe into the belly, lift up the right head and right hand, looking at the hand and left leg. So you're working the whole body on an X. Only what's comfortable. And then a slow controlled release. And once you get there, I know I say it, but that's just part of the work, let everything go. Because there we go. So we're trying to get the resting muscles as long as possible. So do it 2 more times. Left leg, right head, right arm. And the direction is, the eyes is at your hand. And then release. Good. And you only do 3. That's it. I think what I love about this work, it's not tons and tons and tons of repetitions. Honestly, a lot of times just do 3 and you're done. So we're going to even things out. Stack your hands on top of each other and put your forehead on top of that so the neck is long again. And then curl the toes under. And then roll over your toes so the heels go to the left. Nice and slow. And then your heels go to the right. And notice the side that the heels are going down, the opposite hip is lifting up. This is a great movement. Say you're in yoga, foreheads on the hands. So this is a great movement in yoga. If you're in class, you take a moment, you go down for chaturanga, depending on what's happening in the body, or before class, and just release the back and let the hips lift up and down. Good. Now let's go to the opposite side. So now the tops of the feet are going to come to the ground, and you're going to keep the right elbow bent, and then the left arm is catty cornered. And you start just with, and the arm is out, and then just start with the arm lifting up. And notice how it feels. Does it feel any different from the left arm to the right arm? And then lower down, let it go. Oops. Lift up again. Notice where the muscles are contracted. So this and this, and that's the leg. You feel a difference from one side to another? That's good. I mean, the good thing is, it helps us notice what's moving. They're really important. It also helps us find out what's not moving. Because sometimes we don't realize what's not moving. And this work is like, oh my gosh, when was the last time I actually moved my head? So after you lift up just the arm, you're going to lift up the arm and the head. And only what's comfortable. And the arm is straight, and you're going to lift it up and kind of bring your awareness to how far down you feel it down your back. And then a slow controlled release, lets it all go. Do another like that. Can you notice now it's the right leg that as soon as you lift the upper portion of the body, the right leg kind of wants to charge up. So see if you can notice what's happening on the right leg as you lift up the left shoulder. And now keeping the top of the body relaxed. Point the right toes away like you're trying to touch something behind you, and then lift up the leg, and you're going to feel how the left side gets shorter and the right gets longer, and then lower down, and then let the muscles go. Good. Lengthen the toe away from you, let the left side get long, right side short automatically. Lift up, you're trying to keep a straight knee. And then as you release down, release all the way through the buttocks into the lower back, because those are the muscles that are contracted just with the legs. So imagine your life, all the things you've done in your life. You can't even remember it. There's millions from the time you were a kid. Injury, trauma, sorrow, surgeries, accidents, slips and fall, trying to get things right in sports. It goes on and on. After a while, Miller teaches us, what Dr. Hannah did, how to release the body from pain and muscle contraction. So you put the two together, and you let the opposite sides of the body look away from the floor, only what's comfortable. Eyes are looking at the hand. And it's a slow release, like you're kind of in the wind, and you're coming down nice and slow. Try to release everything at the same time. Only 3 together. Yeah, does it feel good to notice it? Notice it. And then when you've done the 3, just take a moment. And then put one hand on top of the other, forehead on top of that to get the neck long. Curl the toes under, and that slow roll over. Feeling the hips, front of the pelvis lift up and lower. And from there, well, I'm going to ask you to come on your back and just feel the body from what we've done. Carly, you have such a nice backdrop. So after back lifting, right, we're contracting the muscles. We're going to go into just the movement called arch and curl, where we release the muscles of the back and through the shoulder blades, so the back muscles stay nice and long. So bend the knees and interlace your hands behind the head, and the elbows drop out to the floor, so it's nice and relaxed. Don't go in front of me. Go with my words, because a lot of times people just pull in and they're like, oh, this is a sit-up, but it's a movement to release the back. So take an inhale and arch the back, belt line rises, chin to the chest, tail drops down. 2 is neutral, relaxing the back. Flatten the back down, tilt the tail up, and wrap the arms around the ears. Now, using your hands, lift up your head, and the elbows are going to move towards the knees. Bring the chin into the chest, drop the belly down, tilt the tail up, sink the sternum, sink the ribs. Let the head be heavy with the chin still into the chest, right there. And then slowly release, and then release the elbows so you can have the chest open and you're not holding any muscles. We'll do it one more time. First, inhale and arch the back, the belt line rises, chin to the chest. Don't pull up, chin to the chest. 2 is neutral. Just let everything go. Flatten back down, tilt the tail up, wrap the arms around the ears. Move the elbows up to the sky, elbows up to the sky, chin to the chest. Now sink the sternum. Drop the belly down, flatten back. Does it make sense to you? Lower down. What doesn't make sense? Lift up again. Sink it down towards the ground. Good. Put the chin to the chest. Do you feel that now? Good. Okay. And then slowly release. Are you staying right or you're full? And now, after the lower back is released, I want to do something called pulley rope, which involves the shoulders and the pelvis. So now I want you to bring your arms up to the sky. And the fingertips are up to the sky and your palms face each other. So Sasha was demonstrating here, reminds me of when you have animals, they pull on your arms a lot, especially dogs, constantly shifting forward. So this is to help release the shoulders and neck. Keeping the hands raised up to the sky, lift the right fingertips up to the sky, keep them lifted. The right fingertips as high as you comfortably can up towards the sky. You're going to feel the right shoulder blade lift up. Keeping the elbows on both hands straight, release the right shoulder down. And then lift up again, right side. Feel how the shoulder blade moves away from the back. And then let the shoulder blade slide back down. One more time on the right side. Notice if you can start feeling a reaction to the left side, that the left shoulder drops as the right shoulder lifts, and then come down. Good. Now try the left fingertips up to the side. Notice if it feels any different for the left shoulder blade to move away from the spine, and then drop the left shoulder down. Fingers just lift up as high as you can. It's ever comfortable. Everyone's going to have something different. And then release down. Release the arms for a minute at your side. And just give them a rest. When we go up again and down, we're going to use it like a pulley rope. So before we do it, think about your arms are going to be up in the sky. And you have a pretend string from one wrist down the arm across the barrel through where the shoulder blades are, and then up the other arm. And you always want that, like flossing, you always want that string to be taut. So we're going to roll through the shoulders. So bring both arms up to the sky. Right fingertips lift as high as you comfortably can. Keep the right fingertips up to the sky. Have the left fingertips lift higher than the right, and and watch what happens to the shoulder. One shoulder drops and the other goes up, the other goes down. Keeping the left fingertips to the sky. Keep that floss in between your shoulder blades nice and taut, and let the other fingertips lift up to the sky. Elbows stay straight like steel. So you have to use the shoulder girdle. So does your head roll? Your head can rock, you're not keeping it stationary. You're not telling it to stay in any one place. So if it wants to rock, you can let it rock. You let go of the barrel on each of your shoulder blades. See this one come up, that one goes down. Good. That's it. Now this is going to be nice. Bring your fingers just like the opposite side, so you're using the hand to just straight out the fingers. Yeah, good. And roll, roll, roll. That's it. Good. Release the arms. Does that feel good after dog walking? Release the arms down. So that was the top portion of the body. Now we add the pelvis, keeping the arms down on the floor. You're going to press into the right foot. You're not going to lift it and send the knee forward. And that's going to lift up the hip. And you're going to immediately feel the weight transfer a little to the left as the right side of the body gets long. And then slowly release. Press into the right foot, the right knee goes forward, and you're going to roll a little to the left. Forward, this knee forward, touch. That's it right there. So if you lift the hip up, the knee's going to go forward, but both knees stay vertical, and then release. So now we're doing the same barrel that we did on the bottom of the body, the top of the body, the bottom of the body. That roll sensation, press into the foot, the knee comes forward. The hip lifts up, you're going to roll a little to the left, and it's the right side getting long. Make the knee stay straight. So there's less twist and more forward. There, right there. Because it feels really different, doesn't it? Stay on the right side. And come down. Right? Exactly. Feels great, doesn't it? But do it nice and slow. Don't just do repetitive. Feel it. Good. Now, try the left side. And if you've had any kind of injury or habitual patterns movement, the left side may be very different. So you're going to press into the left foot. The left foot stays where it is. And the right knee goes forward. The knees stay vertical. Knees stay vertical up to the sky. And then you roll just like you did with the shoulders. The pelvis rolls down. Knees stay vertical. You're going to press into the left foot. The left knee goes forward. Then you roll. Relax this. You roll a little to the right. You stay vertical. So it's this. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So there is a weight shifting into the right hip, because as you lift the left hip, that's what's letting the knee go long and the back go long. Just take it time. Feel that? And then pull down, right through, right through, right through. Yeah. And release. Good. Now, alternate legs. This is just like walking. So you're going to press into the right foot, the right knee comes forward. Then you're going to roll a little to the left. The opposite buttock stays on the ground. Let the pelvis roll like the shoulders. Press into the right foot, the right knee goes forward, and the opposite hip lifts. So This is one of the very few times the doctor kind of goes, now go a little bit quicker like you're walking, because it's this movement through the hips, the somatic center where the belly button is, where you want to move. Nice, Judith. Yep. Good, Nora. Let me see. I don't see your knees going forward. Okay. Good. And then release down. And remember, it's more about the knee going over the foot than it is about rolling, but you want to do that. And then relax the hips, extend the legs out, and then we put the two together. The top of the body and the bottom of the body. New sensations, Mike? I have such a great smell. Lucy next to you, she's an idiot. And mine isn't from me, mine is from Monica's, right? We'll do that, and I do my thought instead. So it's in a really helpful piece. So that's why when I see people with their thumbs, I'm like, oh, so like release it, right? Yeah. So bend the knees again. And now it's just the right arm is going to come up to the sky. So both knees are bent. And fingertips up to the sky like we started. So you're going to do the opposite. Palms face each other. The right fingertips lift as high as you comfortably can. And then lower the right shoulder down. Press into the left foot and send the left knee forward, roll into the right. And then roll that pelvis down. You see the opposite arm stay. So the left arm is on the ground. You're not moving the left arm. It's on the ground. Yeah. Left arm's on the ground. Left arm's on the ground. Left arm's on the ground. There you go. So lift into the right fingertips up. Lift up as high as you comfortably can. Let the shoulder roll down. And then you're going into the opposite leg, just like you walk, pressing into the left foot and sending the left knee forward. Then rolling through the sacrum, rolling down, and then letting the right fingertips lift up, keep the elbow straight, shoulders away. Let the head bob as much as you want it to. Release the right shoulder blade down to the ground, then press into the left hip, and now you're rolling like a barrel or in a diagonal instead of just sideways horizontal. And this is walking. So remember that. Yeah. Feels amazing, doesn't it? It's like a new body in there. Yeah. Adriana, good. No, you're rolling between the two. So the arm comes up, and then shoulder drops down. Then presses the left foot, and the left knee goes forward, and then roll back. The right shoulder goes up. Yeah, right shoulder drops, presses the left foot. Good. And now relax the right arm. And just feel the difference from one side of the body that's had that diagonal movement versus the other. Now, so just take a break with your arms and notice the body without doing one side. So the brain can really feel what it's like. Differentiating. And now we'll see what it's like for the opposite side of the body. What's your left shoulder like? What's your right hip like? What's your right foot like? So the left arm comes up, and it's nice and straight. You're going to lift the left shoulder up as the fingers just look up to the sky, and then let it roll down. And then you're going to press into the right foot and send the knee forward. And then you're going to let that roll down, and the left shoulder lifts up. We're going to go back and forth now. Now it's going vertical and horizontal, identical to walking. When we stand up to walk, it's the knee that's coming forward with the opposite shoulder. Do you understand that, Judith, in your body now? Great, excellent. Nora, you too? Good. Just do one more round. Only what's comfortable. And then let that left arm relax. And the knees can be bent or straight. And then we'll go into another movement, but we're going to take a full 30 seconds to just feel the body and the sensations. Now, bend the knees. And just the right arm and the right leg. So the right arm lifts up to the sky. Now you're going on one side of the body, one hemisphere of your brain. Right arm lifts up, the right knee goes forward. And then relax. So you're staying on the right side. Fingertips lift up to the sky, the right knee goes forward. And then slip down. Fingertips up, presses the right foot, the right knee goes forward. Release. So now we're going just on one side of the body. Good. You're going to sleep easy tonight. And then let the right arm drop. And now the left side of the body, which is the right side of the brain, it gets really crazy. Everything is the opposite. That makes so much sense in a way. Because we do some crazy things sometimes, so I don't think the sides of the brains talk to each other all the time. So lift the left fingertips up to the sky. And then the same foot shifts forward. Pressing into the foot and that comes forward. So if the body's diagonal, why would it on one side? Because you want to try to, because the body is working when we're walking in a vertical, in a horizontal, and in a diagonal. It's all working. Those three elements are working at the same time. So if you can do that, then you can almost do anything because you're getting into the three planes how the body actually works. With the fingertips up. Good. And remember, the head, you're letting bob if you want. If the chin rocks back, that's okay. You're working with your body now to kind of discover some new places that might be stuck. Good. And then release your arm. We're going to take another 30 seconds. Legs can be extended if that's okay for you. I'm thinking of cross-country skiing right now, Lucy. There's a vertical plane sometimes that the body, you have to be on the same side. Even though it's a lot of times the body is opposite, there are these parts that you have to make this wall. The body is not. Okay, so bend the knees, and here is where the brain's like, yeah. So bend the knees, arms are up to the sky. Now, it's opposite arm, opposite leg. So you're going to lift the right fingertips up, press into the left knee and send the left knee forward. And you're going to find that beautiful twist in the center of your body, which is exactly what it's walking out to the opposite. The left fingertips lift as the right knee goes forward. And you can get to a place in the spine, in the back, that nothing gets to. It takes a moment to think about. Right there. Feel that right through here. So, you want to go up as the knee goes forward. Don't worry, you're not holding one of those. You have to think about it, but that's the whole purpose of it. And now the whole body is moving, opposite shoulder, opposite arm, and this is how we walk. We can walk and we can do all kinds of things. Keep your hands straight. So relax and feel it more than this is, and then release. Shoulders down. That's it. Good there. Right there. Yeah. And think more knees forward. And arms straight up. And then when you're done, because it's a lot of work, relax the arms. Please stay bent or straight, whatever's comfortable. So we're going to come up to stand to see how we feel. So you'll bend your knees and roll to one side. And then just think about how you're going to get up before you actually get up. It's called motor planning. Can you actually do what you think you're going to do with your muscles? And then we'll come to stand. And notice the weight in your feet. Notice how your knees feel, going up to the thighs, the lower back